It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed, and your brain is running a highlight reel of everything you said this week. That offhand comment to your coworker at 11:43 a.m. on Tuesday. The way they said no worries, not no problem, not it's fine, just no worries. What does that even mean? Were they annoyed? Did you mess something up? And now you're not just replaying it. You're writing a whole apology script for a conversation that hasn't happened yet. Probably never will. And somewhere in the middle of this spiral, a second voice kicks in. The one that says, "Why am I like this? Why can't I just turn it off?" Here's the thing nobody tells you. That voice, the one that won't shut up, it's not a sign that something's wrong with your brain. It's a sign that your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. Maybe even more. The part of your mind that keeps you awake at 2 a.m., it's the same machinery that makes you perceptive, creative, emotionally sharp in ways most people never learn to be. You're not broken. You're overbuilt. And once you understand what's actually happening inside your head, the science, the patterns, the specific reason your brain won't let go of things, the whole picture changes. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start with what's actually going on in your head at 2 a.m. There's a region in your brain called the prefrontal cortex. It sits right behind your forehead, and it's basically the CEO. Planning, decision-making, running through scenarios, self-monitoring, asking, "How did that go?" And "What should I do differently?" In overthinkers, this region is significantly more active. It fires harder. It stays lit up longer. It's not broken. It's overclocked. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Those two sides come from the same engine. The same prefrontal cortex that makes you lie awake replaying conversations is also what makes you good at solving actual problems, at understanding people, at being the person your friends come to when they need someone who actually listens. You can't have one without the other. It's the same machinery. Think of it like a high-performance engine. A Ferrari doesn't sip fuel at idle the way a Corolla does. It burns hot. It hums. That's not a flaw. It's the trade-off for the power. There's actual research behind this. A 2015 study by Penny and colleagues found that people who ruminate, who get stuck in those repetitive thought loops, tend to score significantly higher on measures of verbal intelligence. Not in spite of the overthinking, because of it. The same ability to generate language internally, to run through scenarios, to articulate things precisely in your head. That's verbal intelligence. It's just aimed inward instead of outward. There's another piece of this puzzle. It's called the default mode network, the DMN. And understanding this changed how I think about the whole thing. The DMN is what your brain does when it's not doing anything in particular. When you're not focused on a task, not reading, not working, your brain isn't actually resting. It switches to a different mode, a mode that's all about you, your memories, your sense of who you are, how you relate to other people, what might happen tomorrow, what already happened yesterday. This network is essential to being human. It's where self-reflection lives, where creativity comes from, where you make sense of your own life. But here's the catch. In people who overthink, the DMN is hyperconnected. It's harder to switch off. You slide into it faster and you stay there longer. It's not that you're choosing to ruminate. It's that your brain's default state is more active than most people's. Researchers call this maladaptive rumination, and the word maladaptive matters. It doesn't mean broken. It means the volume is the problem, not the function itself. This is the part that hit me the hardest. The same brain regions that light up when you're overthinking, the anterior insula, the anterior cingulate cortex, those are the same regions that activate when you're feeling empathy, when you're trying to understand what someone else is experiencing, when you care. Overthinkers don't just replay conversations out of anxiety. They replay them because on some level, they genuinely want to get it right with people. They want to understand. They want to connect. The replay isn't weakness. It's emotional precision that hasn't learned when to stop. And for a lot of overthinkers, this wiring started early. If you grew up in an environment where you had to read people carefully, where predicting someone's mood was a survival skill, not just a social one, your brain built that muscle young. You learned to scan faces, to analyze tone, to run the simulation in advance so you wouldn't be caught off guard. That skill kept you safe. It was adaptive. It worked. The problem is, your brain never got the memo that you're not in that environment anymore. So it keeps running the same software. There's one more piece, and it explains why overthinking feels so sticky. Every time your brain solves a what-if scenario, every time you figure out the comeback you should have said, or you successfully predict how a conversation will go, you get a tiny hit of dopamine. A reward. Your brain says, "Good job. We solved the problem. Let's do it again." The trouble is, imagined problems are infinite. There's always another angle, another scenario, another thing you could have said differently. So the loop never closes. Your brain keeps chasing the dopamine of resolution without ever reaching a real one, because the problems it's solving aren't actually happening. This isn't a character flaw, it's neurochemistry. Your brain isn't weak. It's doing its job too well. Here's where the story comes in. Because overthinking, when it's channeled, has produced some of the most important work in human history. Charles Darwin, the man who gave us the theory of evolution, spent 20 years sitting on his ideas before publishing. 20 years. He was terrified of the backlash. He replayed every possible criticism in his head. He wrote letters to friends agonizing over whether he should publish. His notebooks are filled with him arguing against his own theory, imagining every counterargument, every objection, every person who would call him wrong. It was overthinking. Exhausting, paralyzing, 2 a.m. kind of overthinking. But it was also what made his work bulletproof. By the time On the Origin of Species came out, he had already answered every objection because he'd spent 2 decades arguing with himself. This is the difference between what psychologists call brooding rumination and reflective rumination. Brooding asks, "Why am I like this? What's wrong with me?" It spirals downward. Reflective rumination asks, "What can I learn from this? What does this mean?" It spirals outward into understanding. Same engine, different direction. That's the shift. So what do you actually do with this? If your brain isn't broken, what's the move? The first thing is just noticing. Meta-awareness. Catching yourself in the loop. Not to stop it, not to judge it, just to say, "Oh, I'm doing the thing again." That moment of noticing is powerful. It separates you from the thought. You're not the spiral. You're the person watching the spiral, and that tiny gap is where change begins. The second thing is the direction question. When you catch yourself overthinking, ask, "Am I brooding or reflecting right now?" Brooding feels heavy. It loops. It asks the same question over and over. Reflecting moves. It leads somewhere. It asks a question, then follows it to the next one. You don't have to stop thinking. You just have to aim it. And the third thing, this one is practical. Set a timer. Give yourself 15 minutes to overthink on purpose. Sit down. Write it all out. Every scenario, every worry, every what if. And then, when the timer goes off, close the notebook and walk away. The brain needs to feel heard. Sometimes the fastest way to quiet it is to let it speak first. There's a quote I keep coming back to. It's not from a psychologist. It's from a novelist, which feels right. Overthinkers are storytellers. They always have been. Maybe the goal isn't to think less. Maybe it's to finally feel safe enough to let your mind rest. There's a quote I keep coming back to. It's not from a psychologist. It's from a novelist, which feels right. Overthinkers are storytellers. They always have been. Maybe the goal isn't to think less. Maybe it's to finally feel safe enough to let your mind rest. Your brain built this skill to protect you, to understand, to connect. It's not a flaw. It's a feature that's been running too long without a break. You're not broken. You're overbuilt. And now you know what to do with it. If this resonated with you, if you've ever been the person staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., subscribe. There are more of these coming. And if you know someone who needs to hear that their overthinking isn't a weakness, send them this.